Cardano tokens with 100x potential. This is what everyone wants to talk about. Everyone wants to turn $1,000 into $100,000. So this is how I have been doing my analysis. There's actually a lot more things in here that we're going to talk about than what we're going to cover in this video. So we can set ourselves up for future videos here if you want to see more videos like this. But here is the basic framework of how I find 100x tokens to invest into, particularly in Cardano, and how I'm doing this to set up my portfolio today so that in 6, 12, 14 months, I'm really rocking and I've turned a couple $1,000s into a couple $100,000, okay? Think of this as like an experiment. We'll see what happens in 12 months. This is the framework for how I'm doing it, all right? The main thing we're going to talk about today in this video, this is the focus of the video, is price history and market value, but don't think that this is the only thing that matters though. When I pick these tokens, the ones we're going to talk about today in the video, to invest in, I went through all of this side of the process, the fundamental analysis. We're not going to really talk a ton about that in this video. I could do a separate video on every token. I could do a separate video on how I do fundamental analysis. Or down in the description of this video is my course, the 1 Hour Trader. Basically talks about how I do fundamental analysis and price history analysis and all this to make the best portfolio possible in about an hour a week, okay? So if you're interested in that, it's in the description to check out. To start this video, first, where does the 100x come from? This is an important question to ask yourself. I made another video about like finding 100x in Cardano. It's one of my most popular videos, sitting at around 22,000 views right now. And a lot of people ask me, well, these tokens are not going to 100x against ADA. That is not where I'm trying to get my 100x from. When I invest in the cryptocurrency, if I were going to build a position today, I think about, hey, I have $1,000. How do I want to invest those dollars? And so my 100x comes from the dollar valuation. If I turn, my goal here is to turn Cardano native tokens, to buy Cardano native tokens that 10x against ADA. So just a 10x against ADA, while ADA 10x's against the dollar or fiat or euro, whatever paper currency that you use, okay? I think that an ADA 10x is possible against fiat. I think right now Cardano is like 40 cents, 45 cents. It was 35 cents. A 10x is totally possible to get to $3, $4, $5. So I think ADA is going to 10x against the dollar in the next year. And then I'm trying to buy Cardano native tokens that 10x against ADA in that same time frame. And I'm going to show you how with price history and market value. Lastly, before we jump into the price history and market value, on the fundamental analysis side, in case this board is a little hard to read, some big things that people always talk about that you should probably look at are tokenomics. So tokenomics means what's the liquidity, like the token releases, and initial allocations. How did the project start and how are the tokenomics when it started? Like Cardano, great starting tokenomics. Other projects, not so much, right? Use case, what is the use case of the tokenomics? I think use case is important. If you want a project with a very high token use case. A lot of projects don't have a very high token use case. So as long as we find a lot of these other pieces that make sense to be a good investment, I think you can get away with an okay token use case. As long as your token use case is not bad or terrible, like literally nothing, then you're probably going to be all right, I think, okay? Because that's just kind of where the space is. After you look at tokenomics, you also need to look at the use case and market dominance of your product, okay? So Hunt, it's a DEX aggregator. Is the product relevant this cycle? I would say yes. Is the product leading its category? There's really only 1 or 2 DEX aggregators on Cardano, so I would say again, yes it is. It kind of has a monopoly. The only other DEX aggregator I know of is SteelSwap, but I use Hunt. Everyone I know uses Hunt, DEX Hunter, so DEX Hunter is doing pretty well. Then you can do the same thing with the lending protocols, cloud-based protocols, meme coins. Is the meme coin relevant this cycle? Is the meme coin leading in its category? This is SNEC versus Nike versus Fren versus Mogi versus whatever you want, right? These are the things I ask myself before getting into price history and market value, because you really kind of need to set a standard. You don't want to do price history and market value when the underlying product is horrible. So today we're going to talk about what goes into the price history and the market value. We're going to talk about current history and the price within a context. So the big context of what I'm making an investment theory in right now is the Cardano DeFi summer of 2023. This was in the peak bear market. And we're going to look at scenarios today where some really great projects did really well in this DeFi summer of 2023. And I think those projects have done two things. One, I think right now they're on sale currently in 2024, price-wise. And I think that they showed us, the retail investors showed us when prices are good and times are good, like in the summer of 2023, what they're going to do to these tokens. So I expect much more to happen in 2025 when times are extremely good in crypto, given the 4-year cycle, okay? So then after we look at price inside of the historical and current context, we're also gonna look at the current market cap, fully diluted market cap versus the competition. So that can be competition on the same chain, competition cross-chain, or competition between like total value locked, all right? Here are the 3 examples we're going to talk about today. We have Hunt, IAG, and LENFI. These are 3 tokens I'm currently invested in, just for disclaimer. But they're the ones that I've done the most informative research on. And really the reason I have 3 tokens instead of just going all in on 1 or 2 is that I'd like to be diversified in the Cardano ecosystem. So I'd like a DEX-based product. I know Hunt is not a DEX. I know it's a DEX aggregator, so please don't comment that. But it's a DEX-based product. I want a lending-based product, and then I also want a cloud-based cloud storage solution. I think people love cloud-based narratives. I think IAG is the least possible of these 3 to do a 100x, but I still hold it, and it's still a fairly even part of this 3-coin portfolio because I want exposure to this asset category based on what I've seen retail investors invest in. Retail investors love cloud-based stuff for some reason. They love storage, they love file systems, they love all this IT stuff, and IAG does that on Cardano. It does it fairly well also, and it does it as a monopoly. There's not many other, I don't even really know of any other cloud-based systems on Cardano that have the recognition IAG has. So that's why it's in my list. So I told you today we're going to talk about primarily current price, historical price, and competition, and why I think these tokens can have 100x possibility as examples, so you can go find some other 100x possible tokens. Now, these tokens might not hit 100x, but when looking at this and analyzing them and thinking, hey, there's a slight potential for a 100x, I think these are probably the best chances at a 100x based on what I've looked at in Cardano without taking just like crazy weird risk on meme coins. But even if they don't 100x, if they 40x, 50x, 75x, I'll still make quite a bit of money and I'll still be pretty happy. They could even do a 120x if things go very, very well. So at the end of this video, I hope you kind of understand why I think that these are very good potential chances at a 100x given the other tokens in the market and why I've invested in these versus some other ones, okay? The current price of the Hunt token, this is the token for Dex Hunter, is currently about 11 cents or 0.268 ADA. This is ADA. The current market cap is about $10 million and the fully diluted market cap is $12 million. The circulating supply is about 80% released and there's about 79 million tokens out of 100 million tokens out there in the ecosystem currently, in the tradable assets, right? So this is a great indicator for me that this is a very friendly retail asset. When I say friendly retail asset, I mean there's no one dumping liquidity on us. There's no one on the team who has all the tokens, right? The team is like 10, 15% of the tokens, but this is a token that is out there for retail traders. It's out there. It's not going to change a lot. There's not a lot of weird games that we have to play on the back end. The tokens are out there. They're free to be invested in or sold, and they're really in the hands of the retail investor. This is a good sign for me. I want to invest in retail-friendly tokens because I'm a long-term swing trader, and I am just a retail investor, all right? I'm not a developer. I don't have insider access. I don't have any of these crazy things. You should avoid all of that. So you want to be in tokens that are very retail-friendly. When I compare this to other DEX-based tokens on Cardano or in other ecosystems, a lot of them have, liquidity or staking or total value locked where they provide assets like ISPO-based services. And so because of that, they probably lock up like 40% of their tokens. Dex Hunter, along with being one of the way that I trade and the way that a lot of other people I know trade, this tokenomic structure or the current price and market cap structure of what tokens are out there is a lot better than something that's going to be released 40% over the next 1 or 2 years. Okay, so the tokenomics are looking great. There's no total value locked because it doesn't have those liquidity mechanisms, but because it doesn't have those, we get good tokenomics that are out there. Historically, the price, the market cap reached a $33.5 million market cap. This is an estimate. TapTools doesn't have very great market cap history information, so this is an estimate by me, but over 30 million. Today it's at 12 million, or 10 million actually. So it was almost 3 times as large in 2023. In 2023, at the all-time high, the price was 40 cents. Today it's 11 cents, and it was at 0.725 ADA. Today it's at 0.268 ADA. So this is basically the chart, the TapTools chart. We'll put it on the screen while I'm talking here, but the TapTools chart looks like this. And you can see in the DeFi summer of 2023, Hunt did very well. It had its rise. It was a pre-sale based token. I did not invest in the pre-sale. But as it's come down, I've seen only the fundamental use of the product go up, and I have seen that as an opportunity for me to take a position down here. I've started investing, in the past month or two, I've built a decent Hunt size, but I did not do any investing in this product until the last 2 months, basically around here. I've never invested this in the pre-sale. And the reason that I think it's a good buy today is because of the tokens being released and because of what it did in 2023 when it was a fairly new product. This product's really only been out for about 9 months. It hasn't even had a full year, so it's still very relevant. It's still very new. But in 2023, it had this massive run up, and people showed that when it comes to good times, they want to put their money inside of this product. We can also see some competitors. We have MinSwap. MinSwap currently has a $25 million market cap. Solana's Jupiter, that's a Solana-based DEX, $1.2 billion market cap. Uniswap, a DEX on Ethereum, $4.7 billion market cap, and SushiSwap has a $200 million market cap. So all of these DEXs are competing for the same type of market share, and I put DEX aggregator-based products in this same category, okay? And while I don't really care if Hunt gets to a $1.2 billion market cap or a $4.7 billion market cap. The fact that there's some around here with a $200 million market cap that are just fairly normal DEXs makes me think that Hunt itself can go from a measly $10 million market cap to maybe something like a $100 million market cap just on its own, okay? So when we have other DEXs with these kind of valuations, it shows that the possibility is there for the best DEX or the best DEX aggregator on a chain to do incredibly well. Now, you might see Uniswap and Jupiter as these massive billion-dollar empires. I am of the opinion that if Cardano is going to continue to grow like we all think it is, if you're watching this channel and you're a Cardano-based investor and you believe in Cardano, you better believe that Cardano can grow to this size. Cardano needs to, it's been lagging so far in this bull market, but I think that gives it potential to do well kind of starting now when other projects are slowing down a little bit. But if Cardano is going to keep growing, the DEXs have to get to these sizes. They don't have to get to $4 billion, but they need to become multiple $100 million enterprises just like the other chains. So when Hunt sits here at a $10 million market cap, and it is the only way that I buy tokens on Cardano these days, this makes me pretty bullish. Lastly, there's 2 things I want to talk about. We have standard on the chart. I'll show you the TapTools chart, but there's some standard reasons I like to invest in products like this. After I give you all of this information, the MACD and the RSI are showing flips in trends. They're showing green and that the product is oversold, which is a good time to buy for me. There's 2 areas of kind of resistance. We have a Fibonacci level and a 20-week simple moving average that'll be on the chart that I show. But these are 2 areas that Hunt needs to break through in order to kind of push up to the next level, back up to all-time high. Lastly, the question you should ask yourself when investing in Hunt, the same question is going to be for IAG, for LENFI, for any product that you pick on Cardano or any chain to get 100x is, can this 10x against ADA or whatever other project that you're in? If you're investing in Jupiter, can Jupiter 10x against Solana, right? So can Hunt 10x against ADA while ADA 10x's against the dollar? Of all the DEXs on Cardano, could Hunt have the best shot, the best risk-reward ratio, and the best current size to make this happen? In my opinion, yes. Based on the only DEX that I think rivals Hunt as far as tokenomics go, not usability right now, but it's muesli swap. The milk token has a great tokenomic structure and a great market cap structure and kind of like a weirdly good looking chart, but I struggle to invest in a singular DEX on Cardano when you have something like DEX Hunter that basically uses all the DEX for me at one time. So that's why I struggle to invest in just a singular DEX, but for risk reward and current size, MinSwap is it's 3 times the size of Hunt currently. So can MinSwap 100x? The bigger the market cap is today, the harder it is for it to continue to grow. So that's why I think Hunt is probably my DEX pick for a 100x possibility on Cardano. Moving down to IAG, IAG is currently 7 cents for one IAG, or it's 0.178 for one IAG. The current market cap of the project is 30 million. The fully diluted market cap is 77 million. And I'll tell you why I'm not super worried about that, but only about 40% of the supply is circulating, 386 million tokens out of 1 billion tokens. I could not find any information on the total value locked. I know IAG has staking and it kind of locks up tokens in the storage mechanism. If anybody knows how to find that, I'd love to find some total value locked on IAG so we can do a better competitor analysis over here. But I don't think this is not a huge concern for me, and I'll tell you why at the end. The all-time high price of IAG was 30 cents per IAG, or 0.48. So today we're at 7 cents per IAG, and the all-time high price is 30 cents, okay? The all-time high market cap, I think, is approximately 115 million. Again, this is kind of like an estimate. TapTools does not have great historical market cap information. So I think 115 million is kind of a good estimate for the all-time high. Today we're at $30 million, all right? So just to go from where we are today to the all-time high, this chart is not to scale, but just to go there, that right there is like a 4x at least, okay? So this is kind of what the chart of IAG looks like. And when it was incepted, you know, a lot of sideways movement. The summer of 2023, that DeFi summer, again, IAG did incredibly well. And investors showed me in the summer of 2023 when Cardano was at like doing very well, when Cardano was doing very well for itself, and you know, money seemed to be flowing and people were making money, and SNEC was born in the summer of 2023. This is when people showed me, retail investors showed me what projects to invest in, okay? They showed me that when times are good, they want to put their money in IAG and take it from down here to up here and get it to its all-time high price, which we have not gotten back to today. So again, all 3 of these projects are going to be like that. These are all 3 projects that investors showed me in 2023 that they wanted to invest in. The fundamentals of these projects have not changed at all. They've only gotten better, and now for some reason they're trading at a discount, and I'm taking that discount to my advantage, and I'm buying these projects when they are down on their price compared to their all-time high as the teams continue to deliver certain levels of value, as tokenomic structures continue to stay the same or better, and as, you know, like all of these things happen, all right? So this is the IAG chart. I drew this incredibly wrong, I think, because maybe the all-time high was a little after, but summer 2023 was a great time for IAG. It had a great price. Competitors, it has no major competitors on Cardano that I know of. I don't really know of any other like cloud-based storage solutions on Cardano, and if they're out there, they're not as big as IAG in my opinion, because I've never heard of them, okay? Some competitors could be Filecoin or ICP. I don't think these are very good competitors because they're kind of their own blockchains to a degree, at least ICP is. But this is just something to know. These are the sizes of the market caps of these projects. Today, FileCap is a $2.6 billion project. ICP is a $5 billion project. ICP is IAG is currently sitting at $30 million. Do you think that that could 10x to $300 million? Do you think that's possible based on these numbers, based on kind of the price where it was and the price it is today? Just to get back to its all-time high, that's about a 4 or a 5x. So then can it make another 5x on its own in developments this cycle, right? That's the questions I'm trying to ask myself. The chart showing a MACD reversal, an oversold RSI, and it's holding a Fibonacci retracement level. I think this has had a great run up. It's held support very, very well, and it's done a typical 0.786 retrace. We'll show the chart on TapTools here, but this chart for IAG looks pretty healthy. We don't want to see it break below those levels. That would be very bad. and I would cry because I'm currently an investor of it and I've been investing in it for just about the past month. Okay, so all this positive price action happened for IAG. I just started investing into it around 20 cents. Okay, so I built a position at 21, 20, 17, those types of areas against ADA. I mean against ADA, yeah, 17 ADA. There's a moving average that is kind of in the way of IAG going up, but I think, we'll see what happens in the bull market, and it should plow right through that thing. So lastly, the last thing I want to talk about is why these questions don't really matter for IAG. A lot of this doesn't matter. The reason I think it doesn't matter is because IAG is a monopoly in Cardano currently. It's the only major data cloud storage provider that I know of. I've said that multiple times, I know, but I'm not super worried about a lot of these things because it's pulled back to a healthy price. Price has shown it does well when people are buying, like in 2023, and the product itself is a monopoly. It's doing great, it does great things, and people have shown me with their money, with their investments, that they like data cloud storage products. We hear about it all the time. You got AWS you can go invest in, you got Amazon and NVIDIA. Just think about what's happening with the AI chips in NVIDIA. This is right in that same IT lane, and people just love investing in this stuff. So I have a position in it. I'm not super worried about the massive inflation given that it's only at 40% supply right now. On the IAG Medium article, they have a good tokenomic release strategy. A lot of these tokens won't be released for quite a while. So some of it starts getting released in 2024, some of it starts getting released in 2025, some of it they have no idea when it's gonna start releasing. So for me, IAG is not something I wanna hold a super long time, so I'm not super worried about token inflation. There's no way they release 100, 200 million tokens randomly, right? And so it will all come out in a vested schedule. Some of it plans to start like in 2024. It has started. I think 100 million tokens will be released over the next 12 months. So that's something to watch out for. But this is a shorter term hold for me. I would not hold this, past like the bull market. And so my plan here is to just kind of deal with the inflation because I don't think it's going to affect things that much. All right. So that's why I'm in IAG. And the big question is, again, can this 10x against ADA while ADA 10x's against the dollar? I think IAG is currently, it's around a 30 million market cap. And I said at the beginning of the video why I think this would be the hardest one to 100x, but I like the concept of what it provides and the monopoly it has, so I want to position in it. But $30 million is a little bit of a high starting position. $30 million means when IAG 10x's, let's say IAG stays the same value of 0.176 ADA as ADA goes to $3, right? So ADA 10x is from here. Now this is a $300 million project. IAG becomes a $300 million project. I think that's a pretty fair value for something like this. I think if IAG were to 10x against ADA, then it becomes a $3 billion project. I think now we're getting a little bit out there, right? Especially if that's for the current market cap, and then you have a fully diluted market cap of like $7.7 billion. It's not too far out there because other projects did it, but I don't like to rely on something like that. This, I could probably see a 40x or a 50x happening. ADA 10x's, this pushes this to a $300 million market cap, and then IAG does like its classic 5x from this 0.176 ADA that it's at, and then goes up to a 0.4 ADA again. Then it could be at like, instead of 300 million, it could be at like 700 million. But I struggle to say that this is going to be $3 to $5 billion. I'd love for it to happen. Trust me, maybe it does. People get crazy in a bull market, but my realistic scenario is this is like a 40 or a 50x, but it could be a 100x. We never know. So I'm invested in this project. I want to break down why not everything has to be a 100x, but why this is still a good hold in my opinion based on those things. All right, now stick with me. We're almost done here. LENFI is my lending protocol pick this cycle on Cardano. And, again, we have a lot of fundamental analysis that I did in order to figure out why this is the one I wanted to be in. But after I looked at all of the lending protocols on Cardano, this is the one that made the most sense for me to personally invest in. Go do the fundamental analysis yourself, figure out which one you want to invest in. I even put it down here right here. Can LENFI 10x against ADA while ADA 10x is against the dollar? Which lending protocol has the best chance and why? The options I put in here were LENFI, Liquid, or Indigo. Which one do you think will 10x against ADA while ADA 10x is against the dollar, and why? Okay. It's a combination of a lot of things. When I'm making my investments for a 100x, it's not just about the platform. It's not just about the tokenomics. It's not just about the competitors or the market cap or the price or the chart. It's about a combination of all of them. Think about all these factors on a sliding scale and which one has the most of them in the best direction. Not all of them, not all the slides on all these things are going to be towards the maximum capacity. But this is like building an NBA 2K player. How do you get the most points on the most categories of skill possible? And then why do you think that is and why do you invest in it? Okay, so LENFI. The current price of LENFI is 68 cents or 1.55 ADA. The current market cap's $10 million, fully diluted market cap's $20 million, circulating supply is about 50% of all tokens, 15.23 million out of 29.5 million tokens are released. So these tokenomics, current price and market cap are really close to hunt up here. 10 million, 12 million, this is 10 million and 20 million for the market cap to fully diluted market cap ratio. The total value locked is approximately $8 million in the protocol, or it's like 18 million ADA. So as ADA goes up, this price will go up. And then the circulating supply year to year, we'll come back to this section right here about why I'm not concerned that only 50% of the tokens are released. But it's based on circulating supply and what the DAO is doing. Okay, so we'll come back to this. The historical price of LENFI. Its all-time high price was $5.60. Today, 68 cents. Its all-time high was $5.60. Its all-time valuation against ADA was 14.4 ADA. Today, it's at 1.55 ADA. All right. The all-time market cap, I forgot to do the calculation, but it would be $5.60 times 10 million. So maybe like $56 million was the all-time high market cap. Okay. Competitors that it has are things like Aave, Indigo, Liquid. This is actually a very good one to have a competitor analysis with because there's so many lending protocols and there's so many DEXs, right? These are good ones to have competitor analysis again. Aave, for example, has a $1.4 billion market cap. It's on Ethereum. Indigo has a $10 million market cap. Liquid has a $20 million market cap. So LENFI currently has a $10 million market cap. So they're all kind of close. Liquid's running the pack. As far as lending protocols, we also get to look at the total value locked. Now, Aave's current total value locked is $13.2 billion. Indigo's total value locked is $58 million. LQ's TVL is $30 million. And LENFI currently is only $8 million. Okay, so one thing I will note about LENFI, the total value locked is lower than I wish it was. Okay, so that's one of the cons of LENFI. But LENFI is the lowest of TVL currently on the top 3 lending protocols in Cardano. So do with that information what you will. One question I want to ask about total value locked to market cap ratios. This is from a private equity / venture capitalist standpoint. If you were going to sell Aave or if you were going to sell Indigo, typically products and companies sell at a premium, especially in the cryptocurrency space where it's basically like software development. This would sell at a 10x multiple. So whatever kind of revenue or value is locked in the company, typically these things sell at a 5 to 10x multiple, maybe even a 20x multiple because they're software related. I think actually Aave, Indigo, and LQ could all be undervalued because these are the total value locked in their protocol. They have billions and millions of dollars locked in these protocols, but yet they're only valued at $1 billion or $10 million. Indigo, for example, has $58 million locked in its protocol, and it's only at a $10 million market cap. That means, in my opinion, somewhere in here, there's a discrepancy from investors. For some reason, investors are not valuing $58 million locked in the protocol as part of the market cap. So the question is, should total value locked be sold at a premium like for an acquisition in a private equity firm or like a venture capitalist fund, right? If that's true, whatever value is locked in the protocol via TVL, you could probably 10x it, and that would be something that could be sold, right? Because, that's typically like what banks do, is like when you have this much value, this much cash on hand, you can sell at a premium. So that's a question I've been asking myself is, do those rules apply for these projects? The chart on LENFI is a lot like these two charts as well. I'm investing in things particularly with a certain type of chart structure. That's what I'm looking for. If you haven't noticed it now, I'm telling you, this is what I'm looking for, these types of charts. LENFI's functionality has only gone up over time. This is this red line. The functional product has only gotten better. It has P2P, it has lending pools, and right now they're waiting for the Chang hard fork to go through so they can add LENFI version 3, which will bring P2P and lending protocols together and then offer, you know, the ability to add in things like a staking safety module and other things like that. LENFI is by far the most decentralized lending protocol on Cardano because it's the only one with decentralized lending pools, okay? So that's one thing I love about LENFI. This development process has only started in 2024. The version 2 of LENFI only came out in 2024 as price has tanked. So for me, value has gone up, price has gone down, an obvious discrepancy of what's going on here for investor sentiment. In 2023, LENFI did incredibly well in the DeFi summer of 2023. Investors showed us with their money that this was a protocol they wanted to invest in this time last year, last summer, 12 months ago. This thing was up here at 14.4 ADA. Today it's 1.55 ADA, and nothing has changed to the negative. The only thing that's gotten better is the whole protocol. It's gotten better, right? So in my opinion, investors showed us that when times are good, they're investing in this product. That to me is a bullish sign. I've been buying down here. I've been loading up my bags, and I'm pretty bullish. If you've seen me on Twitter, I'm bullish on LENFI, okay? The chart is also showing us that the MACD is in a reversal. The RSI is oversold. These are our support things, and the 20-week simple moving average is a great level of resistance that we have right now. So again, all three of these charts are the same things. This is the chart structure I'm looking for with these types of tokenomics and these types of scenarios with these types of products. There's one thing I want to touch on here about the circulating supply before we get into the last final big question on LENFI. But the circulating supply for LENFI, actually, when I was doing my research like 2 months ago, figuring out like, what am I missing here, right? What am I missing here? Why is there 50% supply still released or still unreleased, and like, what is going to happen with that supply and why has it not been coming out? There are some things not adding up to me, and so I decided to dig into the research, get into the Discord, ask and search on the Discord general chats. That's your best thing you can do for all these projects or any project you want to invest into. Get in there with the team, talk to them, talk to the people, and get a really inside scoop, all right? So what's been happening is I noticed that about 50% of the supply of LENFI was not released because I was comparing it to Indigo and LQ and their supply releases, right? I'm trying to find the best lending protocol of all choices and all aspects and all characteristics, right? So LENFI, the DAO is deciding what to do with the rest of these tokens. As a LENFI holder, I'm part of the DAO. I get to vote on whatever I want and vote however I want. It's pretty awesome. But in 2023, the circulating supply of LENFI was 13 million tokens, okay? Today, in 2024, it's only 15.23 million or 15 million tokens. They're not releasing any of these tokens, basically locking the tokens for the DAO to decide what to do with. I think there's a few million tokens that can be used for like marketing or advisory purposes. But what I love about LENFI and what I've really come to understand about the protocol from their Discord is that they are running extremely lean as a protocol. They're spending like 10K a month for all their devs, for all their participants, for all their team. They're running incredibly lean and they have an incredible runway, which, you know, is being shown by what's happening in the DAO and in the tokens and how they're using tokens and how no supply has been released for basically a year, okay? Having 1 to 2 million tokens come out is not a huge deal for me. So I think the tokenomic pressure of LENFI is what is one of the best selling points for me as to why this is one that I'm invested in for my lending protocol on Cardano. I decided I wanted a DEX, a cloud, and a lending protocol, and that's why I decided on having 3 tokens in my Cardano native token portfolio. I only have 3 tokens. So the final question, can LENFI 10x against ADA while ADA 10x's against the dollar? Which has the best chance and why? LENFI, Liquid, or Indigo? So when I asked this question to myself, the reason I landed on LENFI is because LENFI, current and fully diluted market cap, are in a range that provides the potential for good returns. I think LENFI could go from 10 million to 100 million on its current market cap, right? As, you know, and then ADA 10x's, and then this gets to $1 billion. $1 billion market cap, you know, is within reach, I think, for a top lending protocol on Cardano. We have other protocols that are in billions and billions and billions of dollars on other chains in the bear market, and I expect something like Aave to be worth like $20 billion in the bull market. So if that's possible, it gets up there to 20 or 30 or 40 billion dollars as a lending protocol. I think LENFI can get up there to just 1 billion, right? And so the question is, can LENFI do it, or can LQ do it, or can Indy do it? Unfortunately, LQ and Indy, nothing bad about those projects. They're great projects, and if they're projects you want to invest in, I highly recommend you do this exercise and see if it fits your investment strategy. There was a period of time where I was invested in Indy, but I decided that I didn't want to have 4 or 5 tokens in my portfolio. I really wanted to shrink it down so I could follow my 1-hour trader strategy, and then I decided to trade the Indy that I had for IAG, okay? So that's why I no longer hold Indy, but they're still great projects and you can still invest in them, right? I'm just trying to find the projects that are the best chance at me getting a 100x, all right? That fit a bunch of criteria I have. So Indy is releasing tokens. They have much more supply that they're releasing, and it's releasing much faster than something like LENFI. LQ is the same way. They have a lot of tokens being released, and it's being inflated faster than something like LENFI, which isn't being inflated at all, basically. Furthermore, Indy and LQ especially, is a larger project than LENFI. These are the current market caps. I should write down the fully diluted market caps, but if you go look on Tap Tools, because of their higher token supply, their fully diluted market valuations are not $20 million. I think Indy and LQ might be somewhere around like 30, 40, or 50 million fully diluted market cap. So when you take that and you add a 10x to it, it's a $500 million fully diluted market cap. And then if you 10x it again, it's a $5 billion fully diluted market cap. And for me, I don't want to push those numbers so far out there to where I'm not sure if Cardano and the projects and like all these things can get there. I don't want to rely on those massive numbers. So I think that LENFI could get to a $1 billion current market cap or a $2 billion fully diluted market cap, you know, given the things that it's doing, given the chart, given the resources it has, given the features it's added, and given its historical price that we were shown in 2023. We were already shown that this 10x can happen. The current price is 1.55 ADA. One LENFI is worth 1.55 ADA. Just a year ago, one LENFI was worth 14 ADA. That's a 12 or 13x right there. So that's possible. We've seen it. That's why I am invested in this project and why I definitely think ADA is going to 10x. So then there's no reason for this to not 10x against it. And if I had to pick one lending protocol to pick based on this information, I think LENFI has the combination of great tokenomics that are not changing, not releasing liquidity, have decent enough use case, right? Use case, and they're adding more use cases, right? So I think that's great. It's been shown to 10x from where it is right now, and given like token releases, given the comparison, given the chart, I think these 3 projects are my possibilities for a 100x when taking a logical route. Now you can get a 100x by investing into a random meme coin or something, but I don't personally do that. So this is how I find a 100x token. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole thing, if you think I'm crazy, or if you think I'm a lunatic, or if you think I missed anything, or maybe if you agree with me and you like this outline of how I've done this. Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk about it, or discuss about it, or do anything, right? If you think I'm wrong, let me know. If you think I'm right, let me know. If you want to invest in Indy, or if you want to invest in MinSwap, why do you want to invest in that? What am I missing? What do you have? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to know. But this is what I'm doing this cycle. I've already made the investments, and right now I think the investments are going pretty well. These metrics are flipping in the right direction. I support these teams. I like what they do. I like who they are. And so I'm not going to change my opinions unless I have good reasons to do so. And the chart just like randomly tanks, or the team decides to change the project completely, or something drastic happens. All right. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you like the way that I do this analysis. And if you want some more analysis videos, or you want to see just like a full hunt analysis, or a full IAG analysis, or a fundamental analysis video, let me know in the comments and we'll make it happen, baby. All right. See you in the next one.